Well, back to one of the big developing stories this afternoon, the passing away of the former Deputy Minister of Defence, Kebby Maphatsoe. He was also president of the Sizwe Military Veterans Association, which we understand has been disbanded. We're joined now by the person who acted for many years as the spokesperson of the MKMVA, Carl Niehaus. Carl, good afternoon to you. I'm sure this is a difficult time. I do appreciate you speaking to us this afternoon in this difficult moment. This must have come as a huge shock to you.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Yes, it came as a terrible shock. Comrade Kebby Maphatsoe passed on shortly this afternoon. The reasons for his passing on are not yet known, but he leaves a massive void in the context of the African National Congress and also in the context of Sizwe military veterans, and then, of course, specifically in Sizwe Military Veterans Association that Comrade Kebby had been the president of and which he led so capably.
How would you describe the role that he played? It was a difficult time for the African National Congress while he was the leader of the MKMVA.
I think he played a principled role. We must also not just concentrate on the role of Comrade Kebby during the last couple of years, but also the pivotal role that he played in the formation of the Department of Military Veterans, which he served also as the responsible deputy minister, and also for the South African National Military Veterans Association. He always carried the plight of military veterans, and specifically those of MK military veterans, very strongly on his heart, and he always worked for the improvement and the betterment of the lives of MK military veterans. He was an outspoken person, as you know, Stephen. He dedicated his commitments clearly, and also he never had hidden his strong commitment and friendship to President Jacob Zuma. MKMVA has stood out under the leadership of President Maphatsoe as one of those organizations that kept on calling for radical economic transformation as the economic official policy program of the African National Congress. And he consistently denounced the actions and also the targeting of certain politicians and also National Prosecuting Authority against President Zuma and other leaders of the African National Congress whom he felt had been dealt with in a wrong and ineffectual manner.
I think people will remember Kebby Maphatsoe for that. I, as a journalist, will remember him for always being available to argue his points and, in a way, help us tell the story. I think that was important. What we should also perhaps shouldn't lose sight of, Carl, and you're perhaps uniquely placed to talk about this, is his very long history in the ANC, in MK, going back many, many decades.
Yes, absolutely, Stephen. And also, as a youth in the Congress of South African Students and also in the various liberation student bodies, Comrade Kebby literally dedicated his young and full adult life to the liberation struggle. He took one of the very difficult decisions that so many comrades in the liberation struggle had to take and went into exile. He was a well-known member of Sizwe in exile. He came back and he continued to play a pivotal role in the liberation struggle. What I remember about Comrade Kebby Maphatsoe is his personal warmth, his absolute dedication to the liberation struggle, and his preparedness to openly speak his mind, but always to do so, and I'm sure you will agree with me, Stephen, as a gentleman, always someone who was prepared to listen to the view of fellow comrades and engage with them, always available to journalists, never someone who was rude or aggressive in that engagement, but at the same time also someone who always stuck to his political commitments and beliefs without wavering.
Carl, I think you and I would agree on that, and as I say, certainly someone who was always available and always willing to engage and never insulting as well. Do you think that his passing leaves a gap or a void in the ANC in some way?
Of course it does. It leaves a massive gap with regards to the cause of military veterans and of MK military veterans. You will know that we have been working hard towards the formation of a united Umkhonto we Sizwe Military Veterans Association. In the last couple of years, Comrade Kebby dedicated his life to bring that about. He diligently accepted the decision of the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress, which was the implementation of the